Welcome to Trading Lounge and the S&P 500 here, and as you know, we've been patiently waiting for a top to come into play. Unfortunately, we still need to be a little bit more patient and wait for the evidence to fall into play, because there is a possibility with this little move up through here. We're looking from wave 4 here up to wave 5 here. We're looking for 5 waves in this structure. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in play here. And it is possible that we can have wave 5 sitting on this little high here, and we can move down from here. But if I just go to the, I think there can be, it's still possible for one more wave to come into play here before we start heading south here. So let's just go to the 15-minute chart here and draw a few lines in the sand. So the possibility of another wave to the upside is certainly plausible, and there's a good case for that. I think that this can be the way I've got it here is wave 1 and 2 in here, and all the way up for 3 here, and over here for 4. So from the top of wave 3 to wave 4 here, we'll be looking at a 38.2% retracement level, which we're sort of on the case here at the moment with this. So you look, until this particular number here becomes a retested resistance here, so that means that we would need to see the market move through it, come back up and test it, and then in that retest of supply, then we would need to see that breach at that point, and then we can use that as the reference point here. That would be the move to the downside based on that particular price point here. If I just go straight into the chart here and look at this here, this is the way that I've mapped it out and had it mapped out for a little while now in terms of wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave. And looking at this here, see, what I always sort of understood is that this, it doesn't seem very much, but this little move in here counts quite nicely as a corrective wave in 3 waves. So for me, it tells me, well, whatever happens in here will be part of that corrective pattern as well. So it's quite possible to have one more little low can't draw it in here to level with wave A here, and then a move up. It's also possible to have this here as the A wave here, which I kind of like better, B wave over to here, because this would be 1 and 2 and 5 waves down for the third and the fourth and the fifth here for this wave C here. So that's possible at that point there too. As I mentioned, I really want to see, if we're going to go bearish from this point here, I need the evidence, so we'd need to see this number here as the retested resistance. And also too with that as well is that if we did start to count this as 5 waves down, let's just say, for example, wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, a very high wave 4 here, and then a wave 5 down to here, I'd still need to see an A, B, C back up here as well. So, the other thing with the trading levels as well, at 2400 here, the subgroup 1 is 10, 20, and 30 here. Okay, so this market's doing all the right things to test, because if we're going to go long from here, then we go long from, well, this high here, then this one here, then we've got this one here. So we would go long at this one here, but of course we could get in earlier than that as well. So with group 1, 10, 20 and 30, I normally turn bearish when the pivot number 2 here becomes the retested resistance on that particular price point. That's when it doubly helps confirm at this point. And also with tops as well, we've got a fair way to move down, so I think it's worth a long-term play. And if it is a long-term play, then I think you need to start thinking about how to take advantage of that, and the best way sort of I know how is by trading less, is basically building very small positions in through all of this here that can accommodate, because we'll be going through a series of 1s and 2s, that wave 2s can pull back 61.8%, so it's something that you would need to accommodate at that point there as well. So look, basically I still don't have the evidence in play, but a breach of this number here as resistance here So if we look at this as 224.26, so we gravitate to the closest largest number, and let's just go. So we know from 20 to 30 here, the micro levels in here would be, well, first of all, halfway between 20 and 30 is 25. So that number there is quite close to the 38.2% retracement level. So I think that this number here could become quite a catalyst. So let's just put that in as a bit of a red line here, okay? And not that it means much at this point. Let's just sort of highlight it because it's around the 38.2% retracement level. So if that became the retested resistance, then you could start building in your short positions from that point. That would be a fair comment to make. Yeah, well, let's just leave it at that. That's a nice little line in the sand, and yeah, I think that will just about do the trick. So let's just see what occurs. Yep, I can't really add anything more to that. This is a wave 4 here, so it can get a bit complicated. It's done all the right things so far. I just want to go, this is 100 ticks. So I just want to go into 5 ticks here. This is 5 ticks, and I just want to have a look at the top here in a bit more detail. It'll just take a little bit more to open up. I've got to load a fair bit more data in there to get to that particular point if I can. So there we are, we've got this top here. So this is what I'm focused on here really, because I can see that this move down here would be like an A wave, a B wave, and then the 5 waves in here for this particular move here. So that it doesn't count as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, because this move down as wave 5 here doesn't take the low out, and it's also in 3 waves as well. So it makes a better A wave up here in 3 or 5, and then 3 for the B, and then 5 up for the C here, and then down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1, A, B, C back for wave 2, and all of this, the 3rd wave, the 4th wave, and the 5th wave here. So this makes a nice count for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So just based off this little guy here, that's what I'm sort of hanging on to here. Yes, it's slim, and it could be a mistake, and maybe the Elliott's not perfect or something, but that's my excuse, and I don't think that we should take a move on the short side until we've got, you know, enough evidence in here, and this number here, the 24.25, would be a part of that process building in there. If for any reason that you were short here, then this move here is in 5 waves, and then this one here this can count as an impulse, by the way, as well as 1 and 2 and 3, an A and a B and a C here for 4, and then up for 5 here. I don't think that's the case. I think it's part of a corrective pattern, but basically any stop that you put in here at the moment would have to be sort of up above this point here. So because it would also be above the 61.8% relationship between this move here as well. I'm not saying to go short at the moment, but if you are, then, you know, keep it out of the way at that particular point. All right, I think just simple and sweet at this point is good, and let's just see any sort of further development on this front. Cheers.